happy to introduce our second speaker. Welcome, Mr. Mark Toledo. He is the solution architect of Zerolytics. Mr. Mark Toledo is a big data engineer who is all about using data for the humanitarian sector. His role as a solution architect for social impact is to co-create solutions using data and technology to social issues NGO practitioners are facing in their social development work. He is passionate about achieving positive change in sectors such as human rights, healthcare, food security, and education. He's also had experience with analytics across his career, working with companies such as Alpha Zeta, Ernst & Young, and Johnson & Johnson. Welcome, Sir Mark. The virtual stage is yours.
Ayan. Hello everyone. Ayan. Good evening everyone, no? So medyo maulan lang ngayong gabi, pero bear with us, no? Buti nga nasa comfort tayo ng mga kanya-kanya nating homes. Sige, I'll share my screen lang, no? Ayan. You can hear me naman, no? Lagay natin sa chat box kung clear naman tayo. Ayan. Yes, sir, sabi ni John Paul. Hi, John Paul. Sige. Sige, ayun. I'm Mark Toledo, Solutions Architect for Social Impact and Organization. So, Zerolytics. Ano yung ginagawa ng company namin as an organization? We aim to provide positive change, no? Social change using big data and analytics. Before, we initially started as a consulting firm for private companies, but we realized our skills can help alleviate the prevailing issues in our society. So, yun, we help NGOs, researchers, and government solve problems in their development work, and we are SDG agnostic, no? So kung mapansin nyo, dami akong areas, no? Kasi anything that can be anything where data can be used, we can use them there, no? Kahit sa SDG. So what I do, I deal with a lot of data in my day-to-day work. I was initially an IT auditor, then I transitioned to data science and worked as a big data engineer. Yan, magamit ako ng mga machine learning, analytics, yun, no, mga geeky things. Tapos, ayun, nowadays, I create yan, mga evidence-based solutions in my daily work. So I'd like to address and talk about how data can be used, technology and innovation to address issues in the food security sector. Okay. Oops. Our agenda for today are the following things. No? You have heard the other speakers talk about food security, impact of climate change, LGU collaborations, public health, many more. No? But today I'm going to talk about yung role of data and innovation in pati yung research, no, in the food security. So ito lang, no, challenges, how can data and research help food security, fourth industrial revolution, yung SDG, how pag kinumbay natin ano mangyari, and decentralized innovation. So narinig natin kanina si Sir Noy, nagsalita siya about innovation, no. Paano naman 'yon sa lens naman ng decentralized? We can see that later. Also, yung existing solutions, no? Yan. Good. Sige. We're gonna tackle concepts like how researchers and knowledge workers can help in developing research and implement solutions using existing and novel technologies to help our experts and decision makers. No? So ano ba yung mga novel technologies yan? We can see later. Yan. So, nung chinek ko lang, no, food security is a prevailing issue for so long na. But the pandemic highlighted it. Mapapansin pa natin, 59 million Filipinos daw experience food insecurity even before the pandemic. So I think ano na to, no, lutong-luto na tong concept na to, but I think i-shift lang natin ng konti, no. Yung hunger index natin before, no, yung score natin is 20.1 noong 2019, and then considering we're a rice country, and serious ang hunger index natin. And it's ironic that we have them, no. So in terms of disaster risk, yan, may typhoon ngayon, di ba? Funny. And then pandemic forced us then, no, to become digital. Talagang nandito lang tayo sa bahay-bahay natin. Most of the mga factors yan affected and exacerbated hunger. And the pandemic aggravated hunger, no? So ano pa kaya nangyayari kung napakarami ng issues na nangyari before tapos nagkaroon pandemic? Tapos may isang quote na narinig ko, life becomes harder because of the pandemic. I am scared that my children will go hungry But we continue because farming is the only thing we know, no? Tayo, nandito tayo sa kanya-kanyang bahay. Tapos yung iba talagang problematic about hunger, no? So, yun, no, some perspective. So, ano yung mga challenges? The challenges are the following. Kunyari, ECQ, affected mobility that broke down supply chains. So, yung ibang mga tao, financial loss ang natatamaan, selling at a relatively low price or borrowing money. They donated vegetables na nga instead of throwing them away kasi sayang, no? Because of lockdown, hindi mailabas. And because of lockdown then hindi rin tayo makakuha ng food. No? Tapos, hunger exacerbated by other factors like yan, nasabi na kanina, no? And policymakers are overwhelmed. So because of the ongoing issues and urgency of the pandemic, walang enough time and resources yung mga policymakers natin to develop precise and evidence-based solutions. The risk is, kasi pwede naman yon. Sige, magbato lang tayo ng solusyon dyan. Pero ang mangyayari is enacting ineffective policies that do not solve the problem. Tapos, and worse, negatively impact the lives of people and sometimes causing death pa nga, di ba? So, ilan dito yung tingin nyo ng mga policymakers natin are not equipped currently? Can you raise your hands or mag-yes tayo sa chat? Tingin nyo ba? Hindi ba equipped ngayon ang mga policymakers natin to handle yung mga existing issues? Yan, sabi daw ni John Christopher. Ano sa tingin nyo yung mga areas na yon na hindi sila ready so that they can be helped? No? Yan, baka merong climate change. Sa Philippines ba, do we talk about climate change? Parang not as much, no? Yung malapit sa ilog daw. Yan, sige. Okay? So, ayan, no? Merong mga ongoing issues na, no? Yung mga policymakers natin. Now, ang gusto natin tanong is, how can data and research drive technology to help food security then? No? Ayan, hunger itself daw, sabi ni Peter. So, yan, typical approach kasi ng research, kapag iniisip natin research, it takes time and years to accomplish. Tapos, ang kadalasang excuses natin or naririnig namin is yung data is hard to get. If you're targeting mga internal grassroots data, sobrang hard. But actually, there are existing na rin na mga novel data sets outside na pwede natin magamit. And due to the nature of food security exacerbated nga by the multiple areas, interdisciplinary studies are usually the key. No? Tapos, since policymakers are overwhelmed, external help is needed. So, ayun nga pansin ko lang, it's easy to blame the government, but actually, the problems are increasing, no? Lalo na ngayon, wala namang ready sa pandemic. Tapos, they need some support din, no? Ayun yung siguro yung parang optimistic side of things na dapat pupush na natin. Kasi, ayun nga madaling mag-criticize, but it's hard to move things, no? So, paano natin magagamit yung mga tools and mga data outside to help yung mga issues natin, no? So, ano naman yung Fourth Industrial Revolution and SDG, no? So, while data had emerging roles in the previous industrial revolutions, it was not until internet era began in the late 1990s. Tapos, dumami na yung yung data, no? Tapos nakita natin na yung Fourth Industrial Revolution puts data on the center stage. Talagang in all aspects, no? Hindi lang natin napapansin. Pero ano ba yung mga themes na yan? Ano ba yung nandito? Robotics are now being used heavily. Data analytics is now the new oil, di ba? Yung mga ganyan jargons and poppy terms. Top companies are data companies. Like kunyari yan, si Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, Netflix, Spotify, lahat yan driven by data. So the more you use them, the more they give personalized inputs. Tapos you can move objects using your phone in Amazon Alexa, di ba? Mga ganyan. Although sa Pilipinas din man tayo masyadong ganyan. Sa ibang bansa, oo. We are heavily connected and all supply chains can be integrated and monitored. So even yung COVID nga, dapat may daily data drop, di ba? Ayan, sobrang connected. And then we have an access to a great degree of computing. So dati yung mga na-take for granted lang natin na computation, meron ng sinasabi cloud technologies. So however, if we combine that with SDGs, we can achieve the following things. Like for zero hunger, no? Smart farming, no? For this one, this is crop monitoring, For this one, this is remote sensing for agri, plus farm to table kasi you can track the entire supply chain, and then food yield and market forecasting. So these are samples of what we can achieve using fourth industrial revolution plus SDGs. So SDGs drive the problem, for IR drive the data, no, and technology. So yun yung gusto nating i-achieve dito, no. Kasi yung mundo natin currently, we're running on a previous industrial revolution, so medyo outdated. We must equip din yung mga farmers natin, we must equip din yung mga food sources natin para ma-track natin yung entire data value chain. So I'm going to talk about decentralized innovation naman. So borrowing from the concept of hackathons, by inviting analysts, scientists, researchers, business people, magpa-participate sila and providing them with the conducive environment they can use data and technology, they can develop solutions, no? Sino ba dito mga researchers? Siguro yung mga nasa PhD or nasa masters or ano ba? Lagay nyo nga working professionals, researchers, ilagay nyo siguro yung mga roles nyo. Yeah, kasi may iba dyan, baka yan, graduating students daw, sabi ni John Christopher. Yan, working professional, plus doble pa. No? Graduate student. Oh, so karamihan dito, mga researchers na. No? Yan, regulation officer, office clerk. Yan, dami, iba-iba. No? Actually, yung magkakaibang yan, instructor, maraming maraming mga disciplines. Maganda i-combine yan to develop solutions. Kasi nakita nyo kanina with 4IR plus SDG, iba na kaagad, no? Iba na yung landscape. What if magkakaiba rin kayo ng background and then you will develop something? So ang goal ng decentralized innovation is essentially like that, no? So ano itsura niya? Creative problem solving towards social innovation, tapos creating solutions, new resources, methods or tools, and LGU collaboration. So ang nangyayari dyan kasi is bigyan natin ng ayan, open data. Tapos gamitin nyo any tools na gusto nyo, Excel, Canva, PPT, anything, no? Just do your creative work. And then bigyan nyo rin ng problem na sinasabi ng mga LGUs or sinasabi ng mga government. Ano ba yung mga issues namin currently? Pag nag-exist yung tatlong yon, medyo mas madali na sa yung gumalaw kasi meron ka ng materials, no, for your thinking. And then you can develop some insights on top of that. So borrowing from the hackathon concept, marami na tayong ma-develop din kahit on our own sa iba't ibang backgrounds natin. Kahit very, very small team, kahit 3 to 5 teams lang kayo, even 2, you can create, no? Mamaya you can see kung ano yung mga yan. So, fourth industrial revolution, kung titingnan natin, main inputs are data sets. No? Usual excuses we hear in the research world are the lack of data and accessible data sets, yung data.gov.ph, kasi mga PDF pa yung iba. Ewan ko kung naniniwala kayo, no? Kung may mga PDF na download di magamit, which is true, kasi ganun din naman yung nakikita namin. However, marami pa kasing ibang sources. Tapos, local data is also hard to get. No? But in this chart, using external and novel data sets, you can get data from social media, satellite data, soil moisture, climate, weather, etc. Tapos Google din provides data on search trends and mobility data. So how people move and behave. And most of these can go up to regional level. So kunwari wala kayong idea kung ano nangyayari, just go to Google Trends, go to Google Mobility, download data sets, no? Super accessible, sobrang ganda na ng datasets nila. And then follow trends. Tingnan nyo over time kung ano nangyayari. And sa Google Mobility, merong grocery data. So, yung mga tao, tracking kung paano sila gumagalaw at kung pupunta sila sa groceries. No? Ngayon, meron na kayong idea kung paano nagkakaroon ng movement. Kunyari, nagkaroon ng lockdown, makikita mo yung changes ng mga tao sa paggalaw nila sa, kunyari, nakapunta sila ng groceries dati, ngayon hindi. Now, that's a food security problem kasi ngayon hindered na sila by by the lockdowns and they can't get their food and people can't provide food for others. Diba? So yung mga ganyang insights can be powered by fourth industrial revolution data. Tapos ayun. So ito yung data So SDGs naman, social issues, these can come from the experts or the beneficiaries. Or you can even search problems online. Ang daming problema na pwedeng i-solve, no? So kapag may problema kasi mas madaling i-solve. Tsaka mas maganda if meron beneficiary, like kunwari meron kang target person, target audience. Ayun naman yung mga social impact issues. Ngayon, lagay mo rin sa decentralized innovation. Tapos for collaborative solution development, ito na yung mga actual people na mag-benefit and actual people na gagawa ng solution. Combine mo yung mga yan, you can create a socially relevant tech solution. No? And I can show you kung ano yung mga yan. Kasi even in your daily work, mayroon na kayo nakikita na gusto niyo i-solve eh. Pero wala lang kayong kunwari, hindi lang ako marunong mag-code, hindi lang ako marunong mag-Excel, hindi lang ako marunong mag-explain, mag-communicate. What if mag-combine tayo ng mga resources and create one? Yan. So, sige. Yan. Socially relevant tech solutions. Ano ba yung mga example na yan? Pwedeng research study, pwedeng dashboard, pwedeng data journalism, predictive modeling, or yan, web app. No? So, kung saan feeling nyo kaya nyo creative work, then do so, no? Tapos ang maganda niyan kasi in this world, no, in this new age, you can share that to everyone. And they can be powered by the following, no? Parang yan, policy decision tools, tapos pwedeng early warning action, nakita niyo naman kanina, no? Maraming areas, no? Or even awareness. You can post that on social media, tapos meron ka ng prevent risk of natural disaster and food security crisis, or food loss and waste, yung mga mga content, or taking best decisions based on advisory services, yun driving the behavior change, no? Kasi even yung Facebook ngayon, you can put hyperparameter tuning dun sa mga sa mga pag nagpo-post ka ng ads. So you can really target kung sino yung gusto mo bigyan, and then change the the mindset, like kunare yung clean and plentiful water sources, maghanap yung mga tao, or magkaroon ng very localized na pag-develop ng food in their backyard, mga ganyang aspects, no? Bibigyan lang natin sila ng tools or insights kung paano. So maraming modalities na pwedeng gawin as development workers. Even yung mga graduate students, no, napakarami yung ideas. Yung schools, napakaraming ideas. If we can give them some mga ano ba yung mga modalities na pwedeng gawin, then just do that, no? Kasi baka iniisip natin, kailangan kailangan very highly implemented yan. Ano yung mga sample of some socially relevant tech solutions? So as a company, as our organization, we developed two things before, no, na related sa hunger. Developed two projects. No? Mindanao Food Highway uses data to provide insights to policymakers, especially during times of food crisis like lockdowns, no, during the pandemic. Nag-develop kami something. And yung ako, one of the organizers, yung Farm Data Challenge. Ang goal naman is using open data of BARM, we have invited yung mga researchers to develop data for social good or mga solutions. Tapos implementable sila, and we have involved kasi dito yung mga government people na, tapos yung the Asia Foundation, tapos nag-join forces to develop this idea. So ano yung itsura, no? Sample dashboard. What if we can track the food sources and where they are before the pandemic, and track them where they are now, no? So parang may nangyayari ng may changes na. Tapos makikita mo kasi isipin mo kung nakikita ito ng mga policy makers, kung nasaan sila kumukuha ng food ngayon yung mga tao, then it would be powerful parang policy making tool. Kasi sabihin mo na, sige, magtayo tayo ng mobile palengke dyan kasi yung mga tao hindi na pupunta ng grocery, takot na. Mga ganyang aspects. Tapos dito naman sa Farm Data Challenge, itong mga to, yung nakikita nyo sa right, are applications na dinevelop ng mga researchers lang outside na lang namin, no? In-invite. Ito yung mga datasets, ito yung mga skills nyo, kayo na bahala. Just create something. Tapos ito, dinevelop na nila yan, no? Very decentralized. So, you can crowdsource, no? Tapos ang goal is i-open mo sa mundo so that everyone can benefit. Even you guys, no? Yung mga graduate students dito, you can benefit from this, no? Yung mga ganyan na aspect. Yun talaga, open data and open solutions so that everyone can really benefit, no? So pakita ko kung ano yung mga yan, no? Yan, sample solution, Mindanao Food Highway. So ayan siya, parang you can browse, no, and parang gawin mo siyang ideation tool. So data sets na existing, may mga surveys lang, na very basic surveys. Google Forms lang yan. Tapos using Google Trends, social listening, and satellite, you can get an idea kung nasa yung mga food sources, anong price, anong supply. Tapos yung movement of food over time, tsaka yung movement of yung mga ideas ng mga tao during the pandemic. Na kunyari, hunger ba yung sinesearch nila? Ano ba yung mga problema nila? Napaka-powerful. Another is Pathfinder. Ito naman na-develop during the BARM Data Challenge. Ito, graduate students nandito or working professionals nandito sila. So, dinevelop ni Gus Gonya dun sa BARM Data Challenge. So, nilagay niya sa satellite yung mga datasets ng BARM, tapos kung nasa yung mga food sources. Ang goal is datasets, open data, Copernicus, NASA. So medyo advanced naman to. Pero ginamit niya pa rin kasi existing na nasa labas na. So wala nang bago. Hindi na kumuha ng data on hand. Tapos what it does, crop and fisheries monitoring using spatial analytics, Yan. So ito online, tapos everyone can access. Tapos agricultural monitoring dashboard naman to, dinevelop naman to. So yan, parang naka-Power BI yata to if you're familiar with Power BI. So ang goal nito is this, monitoring dashboard to help disseminate information and identify areas for improvement through data-driven decision making for the people of BARM. So yan, ang ginamit niya pala in corn, using PSA OpenStat, tapos BARM Open Data din. Kasi ang goal namin is, what if you can use that, tapos ayan lang, dinevelop niya lang tapos maya-maya yan, it's up and running. Yan, sige, 6 minutes na lang ako. Malapit na ako matapos. Agrilytics. So, ito naman, poverty incidents. Kasi yun nga, multiple sources of problems yan, mga iba-ibang factors. Pero, kinabit nila sa agricultural productivity. So, ang goal naman niya is poverty stats and incidents yung ginamit, crops, BFAR, and DTI. Tapos, identify, ano yung mga industry clusters na we need to focus on to reduce poverty and boost economic development. Tapos, yung state ng agricultural productivity in the region. So, dinevelop naman ni Galido yan. So, yan, parang pinabayaan lang natin sila using the existing technologies. So, ano yung mga takeaways? If you have no idea where to start, I found this online using quick search. Ayan, parang naglagay lang sila. Ano ba yung challenge? Ano yung naisip ng solution? Ang gusto nila is find optimal cropping pattern, predict market prices for farmers, tapos ito yung iniisip nilang solution. Meron naman how to develop a national seed policy evaluation system and provide information to optimize water usage or microfinance services for poor farmers. So, dito pa lang sa challenge na to, meron ka na naisip na, what if I can do that? What if I can create something like that? And meron silang parang high-level solution. I think ito yung isa sa mga hack against hunger na hackathon before. Tapos may isa pa nga, ayan, optimize water usage for farmers, machine learning, and AI. So ako mismo, nag-join ako ng hackathons. Tapos nag-organize din ng hackathons. And then nag-implement din kami ng mga solutions na na-develop after the hackathon. Kasi, ayun yan ang idea ng decentralized innovation is you start from the raw materials and then parang Lego blocks lang, build lang something until may mabuo na very precise. And then, i-pitch mo na yon or ikalat mo na yon or i-publish. Ang goal is, ito yung ideas namin. Di ko kailangan maging PhD para makapag-provide ng help sa mundo. Parang ganyan. Tapos, key takeaways. Sige. Open data is an essential tool to drive grassroots innovation. So, busy na lahat actually ng nasa taas. May mga nagsosolve na nun. Yung mga nasa top government, What if pati yung grassroots level nasa ilalim, kahit tayo mag-create ng mga localized solutions dun sa mga areas na, kunyari, mga municipal, yung mga local mayors natin. Tapos, what if schools can heavily contribute din? Kasi ang dami nating thesis na hindi nagagamit. Diba? Hindi nalalabas. Sayang yon, maganda sana if nalalabas natin siya. Ewan ko kung nag-agree kayo dyan sa mga kanya-kanya ng schools. Sayang yun mga insights na yun. Tapos, as you can see, you can research anything you want, and research is not limited to just research papers. Pwede kayo mag-develop ng anything, and then lagay na lang kayo ng mga related literature dyan or mga ideas. But if you have mga existing resources na which currently nag-exist na yan online, you can create socially relevant solutions. Combining local data with novel data sources is powerful. Lalo na kung kunwari marami nang develop before, tapos ang gagawin niyo na lang is use that to combine with yung nakikita niyong problems dun sa community. No need to reinvent every time. Ang goal naman natin is use the prior work. Or kunwari, meron ng mga existing prior works, hindi lang na combine together. Like kunwari, yung open data plus yung naiisip yung ideas, combine lang, no? Tapos meron na kayong ma-develop na something. And then, ito yung ano namin, mantra namin, no? Social problems are data problems. We believe that our issues in our current times are data problems. Like kunyari, COVID-19 numbers, yan, data na naman yan. Privacy and security, another data, and many more, no? Human rights nga, somehow, data problem na rin siya, kasi lahat yan nangyayari na sa social media. No? So yun yung mga takeaways natin. So ito naman, ito yung dinevelop namin before kasi sumali rin ako ng hackathon. This is Project ADs. No? Parang sumali lang kami sa nasa space apps. Tapos ang goal namin is to solve dengue naman. Paano natin mabibigyan ng tool yung mga health workers. Tapos, yan, nag-develop na kami ng tool. Nanalo. Tapos dapat nga, lilipad kami dun sa NASA kaso nag-COVID. So, very unfortunate. But then later on, we improved and improved it. Tapos nag-award din siya nung GEO for SDG or using mga satellite technologies for sustainable development towards problems. And then this year lang, UNICEF awarded this project then as a digital public good, no? So, or yung mga digital tools that help solve yung mga issues ng society. So, ano yung sabihin nito? Using the idea of decentralized innovation, di mo kailangan ng katakot-takot na research papers or napakalaking credentials just to develop something. If you're geeky about something or you're passionate about solving it, just collaborate with someone and then find a problem, find a beneficiary, and create a solution. Those three things are enough to develop something. And yun na yung gawin yung tool for discussion and publish or anything that you want para malaman ng mundo yung ginawa niyong mabuti. Yun. So lahat tayo dito can do that. Ako, lang din ako just another geek na marunong mag-data. Tapos napunta ako sa kung saan-saan kasi I really love working on these things. So yun, thank you so much and I hope medyo insightful naman ang na-share ko.